Today, we're going to be rating Duskmourn, the spooky set, and also spooky strong. I'm going to start off with a completely power-crept grizzly bear called the Flesh Burrower. Sorry, Burrower. Not borrowing anything, burrowing, which is disgusting. It's a green 1 generic 2/2 insect with Death Touch. And whenever Flesh Burrower attacks, another target creature you control gains Death Touch as well. Imagine showing this to someone from the alpha and beta days. Like, oh my god, they completely power crept grizzly bears. The 2-mana 2/2 goes way further today than ever before. And also, it's got Death Touch. All right, moving on. What do we got here? Sheelan with Manifest Dread. We got a green 1 generic sorcery. It's got Manifest Dread. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them onto the battlefield face down and as a 2/2 creature, and the other into your graveyard. Turn it face up anytime for its mana cost if it's a creature. Now, what I found very interesting about the Manifest Dread mechanic is that, you know, whenever you manifested a card from the top of your library, it was like completely random. You have no idea what you're going to get. Could be a creature, could be an instant and sorcery. If it's an instant and sorcery, it's completely useless to you. You want the creature. So the cool thing about Manifest Dread just as a mechanic, and yeah, this is funny. This is a mechanic. It's also a card. So they worked ahead of time. Hey, we're going to make sure we never make a card called Manifest Dread because we're going to make it right now. So now you have, because you look at 2 cards, you have a significantly increased chance to be able to upgrade that 2/2 creature into something way more powerful. So the mechanic, I think, is really strong. I think this card sucks. It's mostly a grizzly bear, and then even if you do get a good creature, like, you could have just played that creature instead for the mana cost. So anyway, not super thrilled with the actual card. Super thrilled about the mechanic. I think the mechanic is absolutely amazing. We got the sequel to the Meat Hook Massacre with the Meat Hook Massacre 2. And prepare for trouble. Make it double, because that's double the mana cost. It's a legendary enchantment for a black, double X. And when Meat Hook Massacre 2 enters, so each player sacrifices X creatures. This looks like way harder to pull off, though. Whenever a creature you control dies, you may pay 3 life. If you do, return that card under your control with a finality counter on it. Whenever a creature with an opponent controls dies, they may pay 3 life. If they don't, return that creature under your control with a finality counter. I don't remember what finality counters do. Do they explain it down here? Ugh, we don't got any explanation for cards anymore. Whenever I look at these new cards on the internet, I got like Wikipedia or Google what all the abilities are. They decide, like, you know, we don't need any more reminder text. That's for noobs. You're born a complete expert at Magic the Gathering. That's how it works right now. It looks worse. Meat Hook Massacre was an absolute banger card. This is just way too expensive. Finality counters mean it's exiled when it dies. Ah, okay, I see. So whenever a creature and opponent controls die, they may pay 3 life. If they don't, so they want to pay 3 life. It's a powerful card, don't get me wrong. You got 10 or 20 mana, you'd love to Meat Hook Massacre, and then you're going to massacre your opponents. I think I just like give my creature. Here, you can have my creatures. Take my Lord of Atlantis. Please, take it. Take it by all means. Okay, we got Pabno. Thank you very much for your super chat. Flood Pits Drowner. Any good in Pioneer? Actually, I think that's the one set that it sucks. Flood Pits Drowner. Now, I know a little bit about this card. I should make a tweet about it or something. It's a blue 1 generic 2/1 merfolk. That's right. It's a merf. There's a merfolk in this set. What are merfolk doing in like a haunted house? Like, it makes no sense. Where all the water come from? What is this, the Titanic while it's sinking? Anyway, it's a 2/1 merfolk. It's got flash. It's got vigilance for no reason at all, which is amazing because we usually don't get that ability on a merfolk. And then when it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. So it doesn't untap during its next untap step. Instead, you just remove the stun counter, but it stays tapped. And then for a blue 1 generic, tap, shuffle Flood Pits Drowner and target creature with a stun counter on it into their owner's libraries. So if it's really a problem, if that card, big problem, end of turn, tap it down with stun counter, take your turn, pay 2 mana, shuffle your Flood Pits Drowner and their creature back into the deck. I think this card's actually terrible in Pioneer. The problem with it in Pioneer is that we don't have any evasion for Merfolk. Like, it's just going to be a weird 2/1 Vigilance creature. It won't be able to attack into anything, so I think it's going to be bad in Pioneer. Modern Legacy, I think it looks great. I think it looks amazing because, of course, we have the Island Walk Lords to give it unblockable, and I think the utility of tapping things down for 2 turns instead of 1 like Merfolk Trickster and potentially completely removing the damn thing from the game, whatever creature we want to, I think that's amazing. I have 12 thumbs up for Flood Pits Drowner. It's got to be part of your toolbox. Kano! How about the Mind Skinner? Sounds disgusting. How about that art, huh, people? It gets under people's skin. You know, we haven't had that creepy art for like decades. They used to have stuff worse than this. Sorry, yeah, this way. We used to have stuff worse than this like a long time ago. They've moved away from that creepy stuff. The Mind Skinner is a triple blue 10/1 nightmare. The Mind Skinner can't be blocked, and if a source you control would deal damage to an opponent, prevent that damage, and each opponent mills that many cards. I think competitively, this card looks like I don't know. Actually, it could be anything. It could be bad. It could be good. I think in Commander it actually looks very, very entertaining. It's literally like, okay, mill 10 cards. So it's like in Commander, it will definitely be a beating in Constructed, but it only has 1 toughness. 1 toughness at all. I wonder if there's a way you can like put an aura on it to tap it to deal direct damage to somebody, and then you don't even have to attack with this thing. Then that could be a combo. I'm very optimistic what the Mind Skinner can do. We've never had such an enormous milling machine. A 10/1 creature for 3 mana. What's the catch? Well, you can only mill you. That's all. That's the catch. There's always a catch, isn't there? Unfortunately. Okay, Alex Gibson for Kona. The turn 5 Omniscience, anyone? What is Kona's... I thought that was Kona's thing. Well, what is this? Turn 5 Omniscience? I don't get it. I need a card. Anyway, I'll move on to Kagan for now. Okay, I like the ring reference in Cursed Recording. Cursed Recording. We got a red 2 generic. Oh, The Ring? You mean the television movie? The whoops, where am I going? With the girl that comes out of the TV. People still know what TVs are, right? I hope that's not too beyond us. We got a red 2 generic artifact. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a time counter on Cursed Recording. Then if there are 7 or more time counters on it, remove those counters and it deals 20 damage to you. Tap when you next cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Well, I don't remember copying anything with the One Ring. So not the One Ring. In the Ring. They didn't copy anything. Little creepy girl comes out. So don't watch the tape for too long. You like the Mind Skinner, right? A lot of people like the Mind Skinner. Okay, we got Toilet Duck with the Central Elevator. There's not that many elevators in this game. This is one of them. It's a room. I didn't do my research. I don't know how rooms work. The Central Elevator. It's a blue 3 generic. When you unlock this door... You know, I never looked at elevators like a door. Search your library for a room card that doesn't have the same name as a room you control. Reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. I'm getting confused here. When it says like room card, it's like my hotel room card, the thing that I have to swipe. But it actually is asking me looking for a physical Magic the Gathering card. It's a room type. And then you may cast either half. That door unlocks on the battlefield as a sorcery. You may pay the mana cost of a locked door to unlock it. All right, so I guess we can unlock the Promising Stairs for a blue 2 generic. At the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1. You win the game if there are 8 or more different names among unlocked doors of rooms you control. What is this? Is this like the Dragon's Maze of rooms? Is that what it is? The Dragon's Maze? Nope. What is that card? The Maze of something. It's one of these mazes. I'm gonna find you. It's not the Maze of it. The Maze's End. That's right. Okay. Is this the Maze's End of rooms? It's the only thing I can think of. You win the game if there are 8 or more different names among unlocked doors of rooms you control. Yeah, I think it's the Maze's End of the rooms. They have to do that. You know, they come out with this new mechanic. If you can collect them all, you basically deserve to win the game. Jank. Absolute jank. And I guess use the central elevator to find more rooms. It's got the flavor going, but I would never play the damn thing. Okay, we got... okay, we're going to donate the super chat, because I have no idea where the super chat goes. Thank you very much, Alex. Is it called Kona? Is the little card called Kona? Oh, it is! Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about Kono here. I got confused. Okay, Pabno. Yeah, I like Kona. It's kind of cute. Might change if I start getting murdered constantly by attacks or whatever. Okay, let's look at Kona. The Rescue Beastie. It's a green 3 generic 4/3 beast survivor. Well, congratulations for surviving. It's got masks on its face. Survival. At the beginning of your second main phase, if Kona Rescue Beastie is tapped, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. What the hell mechanic is this? What is it? One-sided show and tell? But it does have to survive, as it describes. If you don't survive, but can't you just, at the beginning of your second main phases, you could just tap this with like Springleaf Drum. Pass to my second main phase. Aha, sucker. See, I don't have to attack in this world. There's more than one way to tap a damn Kona Rescue Beastie. How blindsided Wizards has been to think that you have to actually attack with this. It should literally say, if Kona attacked this turn, forget the tapped part. If it attacked at the beginning of your second main phase, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. Then it literally survived. It took a shot. It's basically pecked you, ran all the way back in fear, but it worked. Okay, I think it's amazing. I mean, this card is fantastic. These cards are difficult. Like, it's probably going to be either okay or it's going to be absolutely insane. I don't think there's a whole lot of I don't think there's a whole lot to work around. And there's, like, as we said with Springleaf Drum, there's going to be a lot of gimmicky ways to just tap this thing and then screw people over in the second main phase. Kona is built different. That's right. Kona is built different. Dr. Nemo. Let's look at Marvin. The Murderous Mimic. Is it a clone? Creepy Doll. A 2-mana 2/2 legendary artifact toy. Marvin Murderous Mimic has all activated abilities of creatures you control that don't have the same name as this creature. What the hell does that mean? It says, has all activated abilities of creatures I control that don't have the same name as this creature. Okay, so I can't have the same name as Marvin Murderous Mimic. Or I guess that also means, like, if I make clones of Marvin, that doesn't count either. So my clones can't copy my original Marvins. What does this do? Like, why do I need the activated ability when I already have the activated ability on the battlefield? I think it's cheap, but I don't like this card. I don't think this is going to be this. You think this is a big combo card? No, I don't get it. Like, if the activated ability is on the battlefield, like, what do you need it again? Like, it's already there. It's all activated abilities of creatures you control. I mean, I don't get it. Did, like, have people made combos out of this already? Like, people already, like, they've plotted out exactly. All right, we got Marvin over here. We got this activated tapper over here. We got the mana producer here. This is going to be great. Tap abilities work with Marvin? Sure. Also, tap abilities already on the battlefield work with Marvin. I guess it works with a mana dork? Like, I don't know, is that great? Are, like, the Elves players going to start throwing their Marvin in their Elves deck? I don't get it. I'm going to pick a bold choice. This is jank. I could be dead wrong. I don't care. I think this card looked like jank to me. Put a ton of creatures on the battlefield and it gets them all on one creature. But you have them all there anyway. I mean, I guess there's some tap abilities you'll want more stuff. Imagine you could do Kiki Jiki nonsense and other stuff. But the Kiki Jiki is there already. Like, that's my point. Kiki Jiki is not a good example, because if Kiki Jiki could do nonsense, then it does the nonsense without Marvin. You don't need a second you don't need two Kiki Jikis on the battlefield to combo off, is what I'm saying. It don't work anyway. Fuzzy! We've got a Razor Skin Needlehead. It's going to be interesting to see where that Marvin goes. Am I going to look stupid, or am I going to look like a Nostradamus? Okay. Razorkin Needlehead is a red 2/2 human assassin. Very pointy. Looks like from the Legions of Doom. Has first strike during your turn, but whenever an opponent draws a card, Razorskin Needle deals 1 damage to them. Wow, it's literally... This is exactly what Orcish Bowmasters was supposed to be. This is Orcish Bowmasters fixed. A fixed Orcish Bowmasters. It doesn't need flash. It just deals the damage every single time you draw a card. It's a bit rude that it's non-symmetrical. It's probably gonna be a banger, actually. You know, you mix this with the Wheel of Fortunes, the Time Twisters, the Windfalls. It's time to deal a lot of damage. You want to take 7 to the face? You don't have a choice. You're taking 7 damage to the face. All right, next up. And that's not an activated ability, Marvin. I think Marvin might be better if it can copy static abilities like this. Can't even do that, though. Summer Mermaid Star. We've got Valgavoth. Valgavoth. The Harrower of Souls. How harrowing. 4 mana for a 4/4 Elder Demon. It's almost like a Elder Dragon. Flying Ward, pay 2 life. Whenever an opponent loses life for the first time during each of their turns, put a +1/+1 counter on Valgavoth, Harrower of Souls, and you get to draw a card. I like this card. It's simple, good value. It's actually quite cheap. The ward is quite nice. I actually think this is probably going to be better in 60-card formats than Commander formats, but still, it's probably more of a probably has more homes in Commander than it does in 60-card formats. But a 4/4 for 4 mana, natural evasion, gets bigger, gets value, and to kill it, you have to like pay more life. I think it's great. Argent, how about Unable to Scream? I love this card. This is on my list of, this is one of the 3 cards I'm interested from this set. Blue Aura, Enchant Creature. Enchanted Creature loses all abilities and is a toy artifact creature with power and toughness 0/2. In addition to its other types, and as long as Enchanted Creature is face down, it can be turned face up. So your, what's called? Manifest Dread. You're not gonna manifest anything. You can manifest as a grizzly bear. I really like this card. I like how they're pushing these 1 mana blue auras as removal spells for blue, because I think they're literally removal spells. And the last one before this was Witness Protection, which I used in Pioneer. I used Witness Protection in Pioneer, but the problem is a 1/1 creature is still a 1/1 creature. Like, you know, that still blocks my my 1 toughness creatures, like the Flood Pit's Drowner. It also is like, it still attacks me for 1 damage, even if it's from a red deck. So I think this is a far superior creature. Far superior removal spell. My opponent now only can fight me with pillows and can only defend like, I don't know, a scarecrow or whatever. So I love this card. Okay, Christopher B wants the new Kiane. I don't know what the new Kiane is. Okay, if you don't give me a specific name, I'm not looking it up. Tirut. Let's look at Gloom Lake Verge. I need full names here. You don't give me a full name. Okay, this is the 3rd card I'm interested in. It's a land that taps for a blue, and if you have you can add a black. If activate only if you control an island or a swamp. It's literally Underground Sea. I mean, you can't search it out or anything, but that is damn close. These lands are absolutely insane. I mean, I can't say anything better about these lands. They're absolutely bonkers. I think these dual lands are absolute game changers. So you basically want the color that is going to be for the color type that you need by default, and then the second color is basically your splash. But I think they're absolutely amazing. How does Paper Magic handle face down cards? Honor system? No, it's just face down. It's face down. You know it's a 2/2. There's no honor system. You do have to turn them face up at the end of the game, at least with morphs. I don't know how it works with Manifest Dread though, but I do know that's how they generally work. Oh yeah, you have to show. Sorry, it doesn't work with Manifest Dread because there's no activated ability to put them face down, but morphs are. So you have to prove that it was a morph card at the end of the game by turning them face up. Is this set mainly black and blue? No, not at all. They've got a cycle of these lands. They're all phenomenal. They're definitely going to be staples in commander decks, and I think they're probably going to make their way into the competitive formats. They are beautiful, and I really like the clean templating of them. Like, for example, the designers is perfect. So if you play with too many non-basic lands, well, you don't get to use the benefit of the second half of the side. But if you don't have too many non-basic lands, this is basically free value. Okay, probably the only thing I'll add to my Dino deck if the metagame doesn't change too much. Oh, yeah. Okay, next up, we do have another super chat from Pabno. Thank you so much for your super chat. Enduring Innocence. How enduring are we? White, 1 generic for a 2/1 Sheep Glimmer. It's got lifelink. Whenever one or more other creatures you control with power 2 or less enter, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Hey, once each turn is still an extra card. 2 cards a turn is still 2 cards a turn. Now, when it dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It is an enchantment. But that's it? When it dies, if it was a creature, return to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's enchantment. It's not a creature. So is this like an art? Do we have to keep track of these things? That sounds awful. Still punishing White's card draw, I see. Whenever one or more other creatures you control with power 2 or less enter. I think this is pretty good. Not only that, like the fact that it can come. I think that this card looks great too. So it has protection from removal because it comes back as an enchantment. So it's effectively a 2-for-1. And I feel like this card breaks the rules of the game. So it just comes back as just an enchantment, not as a creature. Very weird. But very, very cool. I think this is a banger card as well. Next up, we got Kagan. Thanks so much for your super chat. We got Marvin, Murderous Mimic. We did that one already. Interacts weirdly with Sakashima the Imposter. How so? Okay, hold on. Sakashima. Let's take a look at Sakashima. You really have to show us this combo today, huh? The Imposter. The true imposter of imposters. And you say all this because since Sakashima doesn't copy the name, they can infinitely copy instances of their activated abilities, at least for now. What's the since Sakashima can copy? I don't know what you mean by copy infinitely. Like, what's the end game? Can you give me an example? Like, I don't even understand why it was so important. Like, oh, so like, it just constantly copies themselves, something to that effect. But like, does it go anywhere? I'm assuming it just does nothing. Sounds like a copy of. Sounds like it does nothing. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay, Ant-Man says, do once per turn abilities reset when it is reborn? So do you draw 2 in a turn if somehow summoned twice? I believe you do because it comes back as a new card. So like, it's gonna remember it the first time. It's like, hey, I'm a brand new enchantment around here for this Enduring Innocence. But I'm not a judge. I'm not a judge. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. It's gonna be hard though because you have to play a creature, then it has to die, then you play another creature after that. A Blackbird, Twitching Doll. Okay, we're gonna donate. We have a Kagan's super chat was big. We're gonna donate. So we're gonna donate to a Blackbird. Okay, hold on. Kagan says it just means that if Sakashima copies an ability, Marvin will copy it, then Sakashima will. Gotcha. Okay, Twitching Doll. We have our green, 1 generic, 2/2 spider toy. This is disgusting. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. Put a nest counter on Twitching Doll. Tap Sacrifice Twitching Doll. Create a 2/2 green spider creature token with reach for each counter on Twitching Doll. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay, I didn't understand this. Okay, we add mana. I got that one. So we can sack it, create a 2/2 spider. That's disgusting. With reach for each counter on Twitching Doll. Ah, I see. Okay, we got a 2/2 spider for each time. So hold on. We are... For each counter. Oh, it's any counter, too. We could just load this up with charge counters. That doesn't make any sense to me. Does this have big potential? I'm gonna say this is pretty good. Oh, you got a... First off, you have a mana rock on a 2/2. Nothing wrong with that. But on top of it all, if you just like dump a bunch of different weird counters on this, you can sack and just make a 2/2 spider army. Okay, next up, we've got... Chandler's not in this set. Christopher B. with Corrupted Memory. Okay, this is our third card from that big super chat. Okay, we have blue-green, 2 generic for a 2/2 illusion. Now, as long as... Oh, this is Kiane. So as long as Kiane's power is even, which it is by default, you may cast non-creature spells as though they had flash. Now, as long as Kiane's power is odd, you may cast creature spells as though they had flash. Oh, no, sorry. The first one was non-creature spells. You cast non-creature spells like artifacts, but then when it's odd, you can cast creature spells with flash. Whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Kiane. This is so weird. I'm going to say this is going to be a fun card to play with, but I think it's jank. I don't like cards that, like, change how I'm allowed to play the game here. Because, like, when you want to cast a creature spell with flash speed, well, maybe you can't because the damn power is not where you want it to be. You have to put the +1/+1 counter. You draw a card, you have to put it on. You put it on no matter what. Me and Bruley, did we do the new Aminato? No, we did not do the new Animato. Nice to finally have a dedicated Miracle Commander. Do they have Miracle here? Okay, we have black, blue, white, 1 generic. This comes from the Commander set. This is not even from the original set. I'll look at it anyway. It's a 2/4 human wizard. At the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 2. Each enchantment card in your hand has Miracle. Oh yeah, because you technically... I was like, how am I going to have Miracle? What's the use of Miracle if it's in your hand? But you still have to physically draw it. Its Miracle cost is equal to its mana cost reduced by 4. You may cast a card for its Miracle cost when you draw it, if it's the first card you have drawn this turn. I think that is going to be an incredibly cool card. A lot of people are going to enjoy it. Miracle cost just... Basically, it's going to make everything you draw super cheap. It might be good in an artifact deck. Basically, get everything for free. Nothing wrong with free around here. Yeah, it's probably... it might end up... It could be a danger. I don't know. We're going to see how it works out. Ant-Man says, would have been such a troll if the effect worked on odd and even number. Oh, you're talking about the Kiane? It's possible. Steve Cooper, Vel... Oh, we did we do Terror Eater? I think we did Terror Eater. He's the Lord of Duskmourn. Oh, no, we did a different Valgavoth card. He was trapped in a house, so he expanded the house to entrap the whole plane. That's the lore of the set. Get bigger, and then it's like Howl's Moving Castle. So we got a black, 6 generic, 9/9 Elder Demon with flying and lifelink. Sword, sacrifice 3 non-land permanents. F that! I am not doing that. If a card you didn't control would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. During your turn, you may play cards exiled with Valgavoth. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than pay its mana cost. Is this actually any good? I think it's really strong and defensive. I don't really like its offense. Well, you gain life. I mean, you know what? You gain a little life. You can spend that life, cast some creatures. Okay, I'm interested. I am a little curious all of a sudden. It is expensive. You gotta pay up for the good stuff in this life. All right, you gotta pay up. And in this case, you gotta pay 9 black mana. All right, we're gonna look at more cards from Duskmourn. We gotta thank our sponsors today, FusionGamingOnline.com. Forget Bloomburrow, that's old news. The new news is Duskmourn House of Horror. If you want to get those new cool dual lands, effectively Underground Sea people, but way cheaper, and also you can't fetch them out. Not to mention the new demons, the puppets, the spiders. They got them all at FusionGamingOnline.com. Update your Pioneer Pioneer, Pauper, Commander, Modern, decks, and more. Don't forget, deal of the week this week. Save 15% off Lorwyn and Morning Tide singles. If you need a cryptic command, tap down them big demons. Gotta tap down that thing because you definitely don't want to target it. I'm telling you, don't want to target it. You're gonna regret. And of course, if you buy anything from Fusion Gaming Online, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. They host also monthly free roll events. You can play for free for cash prizes. It's a different format each time. This month it is Modern, and it's just cheaper to play Magic online when you're renting. If you want to play a wide variety of decks, it's cheaper because you can play. If you want to play a billion decks at once, you have the whole card pool at your expense. Rent a deck, you're done with it, you send it back and go get another one. Especially if they ban the cards from it. If they slam the ban hammer, Wizards slam the ban hammer on some decks, you're gonna want to rent them with Mana Traders because their cards get banned, not yours. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_QTP. And now back to creepy crawling Magic cards from Duskmourn. Okay, let's get back to them super chats. We got Flint Water Shield with the suspended sentence. Suspended, huh? Like from jail? Okay, we have a black 3 generic instant. Destroy target creature an opponent controls. That player loses 3 life too. Exile suspended sentence with 3 time counters on it. Oh! Is this like infinite removal? So you could suspend it, or you can... Oh yeah, of course, so you can always pay, it's not even that bad. I mean, 4 mana is clunky to kill something. You destroy target creature, they lose 3 life, and it comes back. I like this. I think this is great. Also, all the Duskmourn are Valvagoth spies. That's really hard to pronounce. They all be spying around here. I think this is an amazing card. I would not be surprised if this sees some competitive play, especially if games go long. I see it as pretty much a 2-for-1. Like, you're gonna definitely kill something. So one thing dies, and then it's suspended. But 3 turns is not too long. It's gonna come back and at least kills 1 more thing. It's basically 2 mana, kill 2 creatures, and your opponent loses them 3 life. So it's like burn as well. Okay, next up, let's go look. Sagacious. All the moths in Duskmourn are Valvagoth. Oh, sorry, I read that one. Just a random mage, Overlord of the Mist Moors. They got a lot of Overlords here. 7 mana for a 6/6 Avatar Horror with Impending 4 for 4 mana. If you cast this spell for its impending cost, it enters with 4 time counters on it, and it isn't a creature until the last is a remove. At the beginning of your end step, remove a time counter from it. Isn't that just suspend? Why are they making this so confusing? Why are we making like another mechanic for the same damn thing? It enters with 4 time counters, and it isn't a creature. Oh, it's just an enchantment, and then when it runs out of time. Okay, so then it suddenly becomes a creature. Okay, I get it. Yes, time travel works with this. That is weird. Well, yeah, of course. If you go into the future, you get more time counters off this thing. So, okay, what is the enchantment part? Whenever Overlord of the Mist Moors enters or attacks, create 2/1 white insect creature tokens with flying. So for 4 mana, it's like super... I want to say it's like super Lingering Souls. That being said, I think it's just a little too clunky. Not super thrilled with this card. Maybe if you build the proper token deck around it, because you can still blanket it. I guess you get like what in play Impending 4, you get your 2/1s, and then you could blanket for more, and then it's just a creature. Is it exile? It's not exile. It's like it's so weird. It's on the battlefield with these time counters. Yeah, you still get the ETB. ETB is still great. Okay, next super chat we got from Pabno. What do you think of the Overlords? Oh, you mean all of them? Overlord of the Hauntwood sounds like a nice 2-for-1. Well, it depends on the Overlord. But could just become a 3 mana ramp spell if too slow. Let's look at the Haunt. This one is a little underwhelming for my tastes. Let's look at the Hauntwoods. This is a 5-mana 6/5. Okay, so first off, the stats are insane. we're already a pretty big creature. Whoops. We're already a pretty big creature for the mana cost. It also has impending of 3, so you can get that out on turn 2. Enters or attacks, create a tapped colorless land token named Everywhere that is everywhere basic land type. Sorry, it's every basic land type. I think this card's great. I don't know if it's busted, but, you know, hey, mana ramp is mana ramp. Those 4 turns, they go by quickly, and then you're going to have a 6/5 creature in the end. We got Chosen Juan with Wildfire Wicker Folk. 2 mana 3/2 with haste. When it gets Delirium. It gets +1/+1 and has trample as long as there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard. Interesting aggro card. Usually 2 mana with haste. Usually a 2/2. This is a 3/2. And it can be bigger. So it's like a 4/3 for 2 mana. Wow, they are absolutely power creeping this. Power creep, people. Power creep into the red zone. He for 4 for 2 mana. I would be expecting this to see play in some sort of aggro deck, but only in the aggro decks. It may not see play in standard because it might be hard to get Delirium online, but Pioneer, Modern, not nearly as difficult, in my opinion. You think a danger? You think this whole thing a danger? It's just a creature. Come on, it can't be that bad. It can't be that bad. It's a good card. It's a good card. You can't underestimate aggro. And aggro is already pretty damn good these days. Aggro's super great. Kagan, thanks for your super chat. Abhorrent Oculus. Oh, I saw this card in action. This card is insane. We have more eyeballs. New eyeball has arrived. I just want to poke it with a pin. We have a blue 2 generic 5/5 eye. This is a 5/5 creature for 3 mana. Are they out of their minds? But there is a catch. As an additional cost to cast the spell, you have to exile 6 cards from your graveyard. But it has flying for Pete's sake. This is absolutely. I think this card is insane. I'm not even done reading it. So this is like, it's almost like Gurmag Angler with wings. But at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you manifest Dread. So we look at the top 2 cards of our library, and we put a 2/2 in play. So basically, okay, 3 mana, exile my graveyard, pass. I have 7 power in play. I think that is beyond busted. This is going to be a very, very, very good card. And look at that. In Commander, you get like the damn 2/2 for every single person at the table. So you pass the turn, and by the time it's your turn, you have like 11 power in play, and any one of those creatures they have face down could be something even bigger. I think this is a weird one. You know, you would say that, huh? Wouldn't you, Winter Fox? You would say that. Also, new eye creature is cool. Are people trying to make Eye Kindred out there? It's insanely pushed. And like, it's not hard to fill your graveyard these days. It's like nothing. Like, you just play cards and you'll fill up your graveyard. And if you try, you will. You will fill the graveyard. So Aberrant Oculus is going to be a huge banger card. I expect big things out of this. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Elixir, the Wandering Rescuer. Why is the Wanderer in this set? Okay, for 5 mana, we have a 3/4 Human Samurai Noble with Flash. And Convoke, actually. So this is going to work with a lot of good token strategies. Oh, it's got Double Strike. She got Double Strike now. Other tapped creatures you control have Hexproof. That is interesting. Oh, my goodness. So basically, if you build your deck around more Convoking creatures, which I'm sure there are, you could, in response to people's removal spells, just do a little tappy, and then, well, but they have to have Flash. Maybe this is more difficult than I thought it is. Okay, I don't know where this card is going to go. It looks good. It looks good. I don't know how you build around it, though. All right, next up, Tiger 58 says, to be fair, though, I guess you aren't playing it turn 3 because it does take a few turns to get the 6 cards in the graveyard. No. You have a fetch land every single turn. You play some cards that look at the top of your deck and put some in the graveyard. You play some removal spells. I mean, so many things surveil these days. It's not hard. I mean, turn 4 at the latest. At the latest. Next up, let's take a look at... Kagan has another follow-up super chat. And then an Mana Dork, the Creeping Peeper. Did they really need to make a card called the Creeping Peeper? Was that entirely necessary? We have another eye. Wow, we're making a lot of eyes in this shit. A lot of eyeballs in this game now. Well, hold on. What was the... No, there wasn't. There was a card that's like... It shot someone in the eye, but you... Okay, whatever. I'm going to move on. Okay, 2 mana for a 2/1 eyeball. Tap, add a blue. Spend this mana only to cast an enchantment spell, unlock a door, or turn a permanent face up. I have a feeling this card is just terrible. Very awkward. Blue mana dorks, not so good. I mean, it's like it's a ramp for a door deck. I guess in a limited set or something. It should be a spider/insect. Well, it could have. It didn't. It'd be an eyeball. Summer Mermaid Star. The Tale of Tameo. I see a lot of people asking for the Tale of Tameo. Who else? I think Christopher B also wanted to see this thing, so credit to all of you. 3 mana. Beautiful image. I mean, that's a banger image. Chapter. Well, that's a lot of chapters. The Tale of Tameo goes long. This book, it goes forever. Chapter 1, 2, and 3. Mill 2 cards. If 2 cards that share a card type were milled this way, draw a card and repeat this process. Okay, so if you have a lot of doors, do you know what Wizards is telling you? Make a door deck. Just fill the whole deck with doors, and we'll reward you. Chapter 4, exile any number of target instant or sorcery and or planeswalker cards from your graveyard. Copy them. You may cast any number of copies. Holy moly! What the hell is this sort of thing? That thing's wild. We need to give this thing read ahead. Oh, it's only Tameo Planeswalker cards. Oh, okay. I was like, we can like exile any Planeswalkers? This is nuts. It's still pretty good though. It's probably jank because like, I don't know, someone's going to destroy this in 4 turns. There's no way this is going to last 4 turns. Plus you have to fill your graveyard, but it would be good. You do still have to pay for the copy. Oh, I got to pay? You may cast. Oh, you're totally right. So this is just like a bad Yawgmoth's Will. Okay, I take it back. I take it all back. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Remember, types mean creatures, not a subtype like merfolk. Yeah, I understand. Cards. Sorry. Creatures, artifacts, enchantments. You got it. Toilet Doc. Zamone. All questioning. Zamone is back. Wait a minute, I played against this. Or did I? It's a blue-green, 1 generic, 1/1 human wizard. At the beginning of your end step, if a land entered the battlefield under your control this turn, and you control a prime number of lands, create a Primo the Invisible, a legendary 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token, then put that many +1/+1 counter on it. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, and 31 are prime numbers. This was an absolute mistake. Why did they make this card? Like, what if the chart goes higher than that? If a land enters the battlefield, you control a prime number of lands. What if I copied my lands? What if I have 113? Is that a prime number? You have to go. You're gonna have to. This is like an unset card where I'm gonna have to consult Google to know what the chart of prime numbers are. Yeah, I like the the reminder text is just so weird and completely unnecessary. And 41's prime. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna challenge you on that one. Christopher B is very proud. I can count with primes unprompted through 200. You're prepared. You're prepared for your Zamone. Now, is it any good? So you have 2, 3, 5, 7 lands. I have no idea if this is good. I'm gonna assume this is jank. I mean, I don't know. This is buff. This is complicated buff. There is no reason. So it's like, first you hurt your head, then you buff your creature. It's basically how it goes around here. Funny story. Scryfall has a list of prime numbers less than 1,000. Oh god, is it under here? Oh, it is. Yeah. You know what? They do have that here. Just in case you get 1,000 lands in play. Here is the guide. 41, 43, 47, 53, 59. I don't intend on putting you all to sleep, so. Yeah. Elixir! How do you feel about Split Up? Let's go check it out. That sounds like a bad thing to do. You're not supposed to split up in a horror movie. But I guess in this case, they don't mind. Does this person have a lightsaber? What is this? Okay, we have a white, one generic sorcery. Choose one. Destroy all tapped creatures. Destroy all untapped creatures. Absolutely insane. Insane card. This is the type of card you can, like, you can plan around. So basically, okay, my creatures are untapped. Yours are all tapped. It's time to blow this board up. Sorry about that. Hey, you didn't have to attack me. You didn't have to attack me. And then the greatest part is like, oh, you didn't attack me? Well, I'll attack you! And then I'll wipe the board. I think this card's amazing. Easy staple. Snap it up. Snap it up. So yeah, basically you don't want to hedge your bets these days. You might want to attack with some stuff. You might want to hold some stuff back. David says, weirdly, the best defense to split up is to split your creatures up. See, they did it on purpose. This person's seen things. Look at that. That's someone that's seen some stuff in a haunted house. They can't go back. They can't. What has been seen cannot be unseen. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Benjamin's Doomsday Excruciator. Anyone not get a card yet? Anyone in N no card yet zone? NCY. Okay, we have for 6 black. What is this? What is this competing with? Obliterator, Phyrexian Obliterator for mana cost. It's a 6/6 demon with flying. ETB, if it was cast, which I hope it was, each player exiles all but the bottom 6 cards of their library face down. Does it become like a giant creature? At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card. Wait, is it each player, including you? And you're gonna die first. What the hell is this thing? So I mean, if everything goes according to plan, keep drawing a card each upkeep, you're gonna be the first one to deck out all but 6 cards. Interesting. Well, I mean, I'll give it this. It's a card. That's a powerful effect. That's gonna, that's a card that's trying to move the game forward here. That's all I can say about this. Is it good? I have no idea. I mean, maybe if you've set up a mill strategy where you can just start sacking your creatures and mill the rest of the people out upon, like, this thing resolving, then probably it is very good. Only time will tell. Islarf with Innocuous Rat. You dirty, dirty rat. It's a 2-mana 1/1. It's a very sharp-looking rat. When it dies, Manifest Dread. I think this card's pathetic. I mean, it's funny how rats work. It's like if the rat dies, then you get value, but you don't really want your thing to die, in my opinion. And Kagan says, how has no one mentioned the Doomsday Excruciator? Oh, we did that one. Shoot, sorry about that. You got 2 super chats for the same damn card. Okay, we got Matt's Prads with the Swarm Weaver. Maybe it goes with the Swarm Yard. It's a 4-mana 2/3 Scarecrow. Oh, they're bringing Scarecrows back. When the Swarm Weaver enters, create 2 1/1 black and green insect creature tokens with flying. And Delirium. As long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, insects and spiders you control get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. Card you have to build around, but actually pretty decent. I think you get a lot of value with this card. Safifi. Unidentified hover ship. It's literally a spaceship. Where is this set going? Why are aliens like a spooky thing? I put aliens in a different category from like zombies, vampires, ghouls, werewolves, and all this other, and jack-o'-lanterns and crap. Okay, we got, and it's a white card for some reason, but it is a vehicle. It's a 2/2 flying saucer. Flying. When unidentified hover ship enters, exile up to 1 target creature with toughness 5 or less. You're getting abducted! They're gonna take a they're gonna take a sample of your bodily fluids. I won't talk about which ones. Then they're gonna play with something with your butt. Okay, when unidentified hover ship leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner manifests dread. Don't they give it back? It should be like an Oblivion ring. Aliens don't steal people for forever, as far as I know. I'm not that big into the alien lore, but I thought, you know, they give the person back. They dump them back. That's why they tell their story to the news. I got abducted by aliens. This card has a lot of potential in Blink decks. Absolutely. So it leaves the exiled card's owner. So it's another what's it called? It's Skyclave Apparition. It's a Skyclave Apparition. Although you do need to crew this. I forgot about the crew thing. Even aliens need to drive their ship. Okay, so this is like, it's not bad. It's good, but it might not be as good as Skyclave Apparition in the end. Cicacia says, if the rat is innocuous, how is it manifesting dread when it dies? By definition, something innocuous isn't scary. Who's being scared by that not scary dead rat? They were probably scared before it died. Corbinek. Arabella. Aliens in this set. I can't believe it. 2 mana, 1/3 toy doll. It's an abandoned doll. Whenever Arabella, abandoned doll, attacks, it deals X damage to each opponent, and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 2 or less. So when it attacks, it deals X damage to each opponent, you gain X life. Oh, interesting. Probably that can be good. Probably. I'm not super excited with this type of card. Like, it's not going to do anything individually by itself. Like, you gotta work for it. You gotta get a bunch of stuff on the battlefield, but I can totally see it working, especially in a token deck. Yeah, it's Annabelle, the abandoned doll. Gaming! We got Gaming Bakionawa. Say its name. Say its name. Is that what it's called? So you probably have to say its name 3 times, like Beetlejuice. Yeah. Yep, not gonna say it thrice. Beetlejuice. 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 Okay, it's 2 mana sorcery. Mill 3 cards, and you may return a creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. Exile this card and 2 other cards named say its name from your graveyard. Search your library. Hold on, exile this card and 2 other cards named say its name from your graveyard. Well, it's completely useless in Commander then. I hope they didn't put that in the Commander Precon. That would be like such a troll. Wouldn't that be a troll if they put that in the Commander Precon? Okay, what's the idea? Search your graveyard, hand, and library for a card named Altanak, the thrice called, and put it onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle it out. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay, let's look up Altanak. This card is probably sucks. It is a 7 mana 9/9 trample. Whenever Altanak, the thrice called, becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card. Pay 2, discard Altanak, the thrice called, return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Like, I was thinking maybe you could use this with Intuition in a legacy deck, but it'd be just terrible. Because then you look for 3 cards called Say Its Name. Exile this card and 2 other cards named Say Its Name from your graveyard. Oh, you just need them in the graveyard. Is there any point to casting this card? It's just mill 3 cards and you may return a creature or land card from your graveyard. Oh, interesting. It's in the main set. Yeah, RP Commander players, unless your group rules 0s. Yeah, because my deck having any number of copies of Say Its Name, does that work with all of you? Like Relentless Rats? Comes a target spell ability opponent opponent controls, draw a card. Oh, we're gonna get some value. Interesting. I'm interested. This is not a half bad creature. Usually these strategies are just like they're crappy. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They're usually bad. You're working too hard for too little of a payoff, but maybe it's not that hard to work because it's literally just you exile 3 cards, and you got this behemoth onto the battlefield out of like nowhere. Anyway, I think it's not too bad. Okay, do we have anyone else? No card yet. We got Trisaru, Dazzling. The Dazzling Room. It's gonna dazzle you. Oh, it's a Dazzling Theater. So a white 3 generic. It's an enchantment room. Creature spells you cast have Convoke. pretty underwhelming. But then we got the prop room. For 3 mana, untap each creature you control during each other player's untap step. That's it gives you like pseudo vigilance. I actually think, okay, that's not bad. Not too bad at all. We got Hexenort. Winter. Literally, something's called winter. I have to be more specific. Misanthropic Guide. You don't look like winter. You look like fall to me. Okay, we have for 4 mana, a 3/4 human warlock. Word 2. Very difficult to kill. At the beginning of your upkeep, it's even harder without the mocks, those mana crypts around, huh? Okay, at the beginning. Oh, too soon? Too soon. I think I was too soon. We'll make a joke. 1 year from now. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws 2 cards. Holy, what the hell is going on here? Oh no, it's only at your upkeep. So at the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws 2 cards. Don't kill winter. Don't kill it. This winter will warm up to you, I promise. Delirium. As long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, each opponent's maximum hand size is equal to 7 minus the number of those card types. So as long as there are 4 or more card types among each opponent, but we don't have any maximum. Oh, that's interesting. This looks great. That's a lot of value. And it'll screw someone else. Let's see. Do we do walk-in closet? Nope. I'm assuming this is a room. I don't look at a closet like a room, but sure. Walk-in closet, 3 mana. You may play land cards from your graveyard. That is fantastic. Isn't this like just strictly better? What is that world's card? What is that artifact? You can play lands from your graveyard. It's the same damn thing. It's just that it's green. So this is just strictly better for the green decks, which are usually the decks that play with lands. Have those lands matter type of cards. Forgotten Cellar, a 5 mana. When you unlock this door, you may cast spells from your graveyard this turn, and if a card would be put into your graveyard from anywhere this turn, exile it instead. This card's a huge banger. It's basically Crucible Worlds. Yeah, it's Crucible Worlds with Yawgmoth Will attached to it. This card's insane. How many abilities are they going to give green? Like, green just gets to do everything. Now they draw cards like blue. They got Yawgmoth's Will and Underworld Breach just like black and red. Like, what the hell? Is there anything green can't do? I think green can do basically everything. Even counterspell things occasionally. Sheelan, Leyline of Resonance. New ley lines, huh? 4 mana, enchantment. If it's in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only a single creature you control, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Ah, God, I don't like the. I really don't like the sound of this type of card.
No, God, please, no.
There's too many of these stupid aggro decks that you're like buffing them up with these stupid red cards. Your red is really taking over the role that green had at the beginning of alpha and beta, and now this is just going to double them. So now like every stupid red haste creature is like really must kill, or I guess you have to just be more careful. Like, you can copy the spell and may choose new. That's worse. You have to choose new targets. So if they try to buff up one creature, then they're gonna like buff up another one just in case I kill the first one. Spectral Maniac says this card is currently ruining a standard. It's all mono red now. I don't blame you. The card looks absolutely bonkers. I hate these red decks. Like, what? We don't all have access to removal. I guess that's one thing green can't do. Green can't kill things. Blue can't kill things. At least not well. Okay, I think this card is insane. Age of Time. Enter the Enigma. Blue sorcery. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Draw a card. I swear, doesn't this card already exist? I swear we have this card already. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we have better versions of this card. What was it? There's a blue card. It's like blue, target creature gets +1/+0. It's unblockable, and you draw a card, I think. I might be wrong. You got no card yet, Tiger? And there's only one cat, so even though I don't think it looks too great, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the Lionheart Glimmer. Let me tell you about Lionheart Glimmer. It's 5 mana, and it's Simba on fire. It's a 2/3 with Ward 2. That's pretty good. Whenever you attack creatures you control, get +1/+1 until end of turn. I think it's clunky. Like if you have a cat deck, you could throw it in there, but like it's a pretty clunky card. But it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's clunkier out there. A ley line is a natural path made of concentrated mana. Why does Val the Goth have that? I have no idea. We got Matt Sprads with the Frantic Strength. The strength is frantic. 3 mana for an aura. Flash. Enchant creature. Enchant creature gets +2/+2 and trample. Probably this is just like draft card. It's a draft card. We did Marvin. Sorry about that, Les. The end. You gotta be more creative at this point. Yeah, we did Marvin was done in like 2 seconds. Turiat with Kaito. There's Kaito in this set. The ninja. People you like, what are you dressing up for as Halloween? Halloween? What are you talking about? Kaito. The hell is Halloween? Okay, 4 mana Planeswalker, 4 loyalty. It also has ninjutsu, which is pretty cool. During your turn, as long as Kaito has 1 or more loyalty counters on him, he's a 3/4 ninja creature. It has hexproof. Oh, it's tapped and attacking when you use the ninjutsu. Okay. +1, you get an emblem with ninjas you control get +1/+1. So it's a ninja lord. It's got 0, surveil 2, then draw a card for each opponent who lost life this turn. That's great. And then -2, tap target creature, put 2 stun counters on it. This card is insane. It's absolutely insane. Okay, it's good on attack. It's a lord. Only for ninjas, unfortunately, so that one sucks. It's got really good card draw. Surveil 2, then draw a card. And also, it's got, like, it can protect itself with the -2. I actually like, I like definitely 2/3 of this card. The third one is, like, going to be a little janky because I don't think there's enough ninjas in this game. West Coast Game's like, I'm dressing as Oko. Interesting. Chosen, you're thinking of Slip Through Space from Oath of the Gatewatch. That's probably what I was thinking of. Nicholas, have we done Chainsaw? We will now. I'm surprised there's no card called Chainsaw up to this point. Chainsaw! 2 mana equipment. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to up to 1 target creature. Oops, that's the wrong sound effect. Whenever 1 or more creatures die, put a rev counter on Chainsaw. The Chainsaw gets excited when it's killing things. An equipped creature gets +X/+0, where X is the number of rev counters on Chainsaw. I sharpen my blade off of your skin and bones. Brim, brim, brim. That being said, how good is it? Whenever 1 or more creatures die, you put a rev counter. Deals when it enters, it deals 3 damage to target creature. It's actually pretty good. So it's like a removal spell by itself, and then you can equip it with something later. It's probably in between. It's probably not that good overall, but like they're pushing it enough that, you know, it's going to see play somewhere. It's not like going to be a complete waste to play this card. The equip cost is just way too high, so I'm going to put it on like probably on the lower end of playable, but still playable. Includes your creatures too. I like killing my creatures. Brim, brim, brim. Okay. Beanpot. Fear of missing out. They made a FOMO card? That's not the stock market. Okay, we have a 2 mana 2/3 Nightmare. When it enters the battlefield, discard a card and draw a card. Delirium. When Fear of Missing Out attacks for the first time each turn, if there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard, untap target creature. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. That's absolutely nuts. That is a very strong effect. So we get to filter our hand a little bit, and we get an extra attack with 1 creature. Only if we have Delirium, which I'm assuming is just going to be easy. After this, yeah, untap target creature. This thing has to tap. Yeah, this is an absolute banger card. Aro with Valgavoth's Onslaught. This is a tutor. It's a green XX sorcery. Manifest dread X times and put X +1/+1 counters on each of those creatures. Oh, so if you go big, so if I have 7 mana, we get 3 5/5s. It's not bad. It's not bad. FOMO dies to a chainsaw. It's fine. Yeah, I guess so. Interesting. All right, anyone not get a card? Anyone not get? I'm just trying to check. Anybody who didn't get nothing, who didn't get squat. We got shit. We shares these around here. We shares these around here. Okay, I can't see anyone else. Wait, who's gonna get the last card? Let's get Saga. Hold on. Lestian didn't get a card. Okay, we'll do Saga's card here. Popular ego test. Is that different from the other ego test? Oh, I like this card. Shoves someone down. Popular ego test. That's big ego you have. Oh, I thought for a second this girl was giving the finger because it was like it was really extended up, but it was really just the index finger. 3 mana, 3/2 human rogue. Pay 2, sacrifice another creature or enchantment. Popular egotist gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. Oh, so we're like basically sacrificing someone else. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. See ya. Remember when I said we were best friends forever? Psych. Absolute psych. Push them into their. This is Sparta. Okay, Lestian. Have we checked Inquisitive Glimmer? Ooh, it's a fox. We got a 2 mana 2/3. Man, everything. Nothing's like a grizzly bear anymore. If you're like a 2 mana card, you're like a 2/3, a 4/3. This game, can I say? It's a Fox Glimmer. Enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Unlock costs you pay cost 1 less to cast. It's probably in Commander, it's very good. Competitive play, it's probably going to be pretty bad. It's just not good enough. Poppy, it's like Fox. You're like one of those people that bring home a coyote. It's like, hey, this dog is awesome. And with that, whoops, that's it for today. This looks like a pretty sweet set. I think they did a really good design. Flavor is on point. They got a lot of good puns, too. If you want to be part of the show, you got to be here weekdays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And thanks to everyone who shows up here today to be part of this show. People like Winter Fox and Benjamin and Saga and Summer Mermaid Star, Christopher B, Bryce, Kano. We got Arrow, Tiger, a duck. We got ducks around here. Lestian. Jess, Bell, Spectral Maniac, Steve Cooper, Tom Squires, Tommy Siddons, because you are the crew. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep bringing up them coffees, and we'll keep bringing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.